Let's live our lives a quarter mile at a time as we blaze through this trailer breakdown for the 2017 Academy Award winner for Best Picture, The Fate of the Furious. Well, guys, here we are. All roads led to this. Then those roads parted, but then there were new roads ahead, and these are those roads. The trailer for the 8th film in the Fast and Furious techology is here, and its name is The Fate of the Furious, and holy shit, we were not emotionally prepared for this at all. As the trailer began, everything was looking just fine. La Familia was off on another adventure, presumably working for Kurt Russell's mysterious Mr. Nobody and the CIA. They were doing their thing, driving shockingly resilient muscle cars through some solid brick at a German port, then wantonly murdering entire squads of German police officers when the unthinkable happened. Dominic Toretto, our noble hero for 5 of the 7 Fast movies so far, betrayed La Familia, running Hobbs off the road and getting him sent to the same maximum security prison as Jason Statham's Furious 7 villain, Deckard Shaw. Dom, how could you do this? Why would you do this? To find out, we need to break down the rest of the trailer for clues, and that's exactly what we're gonna do, because that's what we do. Just before Dom turned on La Familia, we heard Cypher, Charlize Theron's cyber-terrorist villain, speaking for the first time. Her words were prophetic. You know what I like about you, Dom? You're a genuine outlaw, but your family is about to go up against the only thing they can't handle, you. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, I don't think that actually makes any sense. But here's the thing, it totally does. If you consider the fact that Dom, like the Winter Soldier before him, might be brainwashed. Think about it. Outside of a post-credit sequence, we didn't see Dom between Fasts 1 and 4, a period during which he could easily have been, at some point, kidnapped and brainwashed by Cypher, setting him up for this very moment in which she could utter a seemingly nonsensical phrase that causes him to turn on the people that he loves most. That's totally it. Dom escapes his crew and apparently drives through the night all the way to an airstrip where he outruns a fleet of police officers before boarding a plane that appears to be Cypher's base of operations. Ingenious and cowardly, hiding away in a plane where La Familia's cars can't reach her. And while up in the air, Cypher teases Dom about his betrayal as he looks in horror at a photo taken of his best buddy Brian, his sister Mia, and their kids. Wait a minute, that's it! Dom didn't turn on La Familia, he's simply protecting his other familia the only way that he knows how, as Cypher uses them to manipulate him into joining her squad. But Dom probably has some, super master plan to take her down from the inside, so it's totally cool, you guys. It's fine. Everything is fine. Moving on, we see Mr. Nobody and Scott Eastwood, who appears to be reprising his role as anonymous government type from Suicide Squad, as they unite a new familia made up of Roman, Tej, Letty, Furious 7's Ramsey, a freshly released from prison Hobbs, and twist, Deckard Shaw. Oh. How will our team mesh with the man who killed Han? And with Helen Mirren, that one blows my mind, confirmed to make an appearance in this film too, we have to wonder, is she gonna play Deckard's mom? She totally has to, am I right? Is Mama Shaw gonna be a sweet older lady or a badass London crime boss? Will she help La Familia or bear a grudge over the fact that they put one of her sons into a coma and the other in prison? Or will she amp up the drama between Shaw and Hobbs by getting down with The Rock? That'd be kind of sexy. Next, as if he felt the need to prove that he could take on the entire Fast ensemble himself and win, we see Dom get cornered on the streets of New York by La Familia and a whole bunch of grappling hooks. Against all odds, he uses the power of American muscle to drag them into a horrific ball of twisted metal, and oh God, I can't watch this. Why, Dom? Why? Have we ruled out the possibility, guys, that maybe Dom gets hacked? I mean, if Cypher is, as Mr. Nobody calls her, the very definition of high-tech terrorism, then she could totally hack people, right? Right. Dom got hacked, y'all. It's not his fault. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes it happens to entire countries, like our own. This isn't Dom's fault, and he loves his family, and we're gonna be okay, you guys, except that we're not. So we see the crew gear up for that big Icelandic action scene we've all been waiting for, with Tej finally getting a tank and Roman, in classic Roman fashion, stepping into a bright orange Lamborghini. That Roman, what a caught up. With Dom in the mix too, we're guessing he'll have to do his best to complete whatever mission Cypher has sent him out on while trying to keep La Familia alive without blowing his cover. Totally. It's the only thing that makes sense. And boy, what a time he will have, as it looks like Cypher's one-upped Fast Six's cars versus a plane sequence with a friggin' submarine. That's right. Cypher is such a good hacker that she can make a whole submarine breach the ice by pressing a single button marked engage. Also, she appears to be willingly murdering her own dudes, as they seem to be the ones chasing La Familia in those flying jeeps. Damn. Cars versus a submarine. With 2 fast movies left to go after this one, you guys, the clock is ticking on getting these folks up into space. It's gonna happen. They're clearly just working their way up to it. Anyway, the rest of the trailer features a smattering of random scenes. We've got Deckard Shaw absolutely wrecking Cypher's crew on her hacker plane, Roman smashing a snowmobiler in the face with the car door of his beloved Lambo, rest in peace Lambo, the butts we all expect, Nate, demand from a fast trailer from the movie's Cuban set scenes, which we see little else from, and a major shootout on the streets of New York that has Dom slipping into a very Deathstroke-y mask. The editing tries to make it look like Hobbs is shooting at him in this scene, but Hobbs is clearly firing his machine gun in Iceland, so maybe the editing in the trailer is just trying to trick us into thinking Dom's turned on his family. That's it. Guys, he didn't turn on them at all. They're just trying to build up the hype. Okay. And finally, our last tease, Dom and Cypher herself blow open Mr. Nobody's mission briefing room, and Dom makes out with Cypher in front of his own wife before turning his back on his family. But what if the big reveal is that Cypher is so evil she hacked time itself, traveled back to the 70s, and corrupted Dom as a boy, so this is actually an alternate timeline Dom who's evil, and the real Dom is just waiting to show up and beat his ass and stand with La Familia. Because that would make a lot more sense. So that is probably it. It's just a crisis on infinite Doms. But what do you guys think? Why would Dom turn on La Familia? When are we going to drive into space? Let's discuss. Join us over at Nerdist.com/Twitch today for an all-new Nerdist News Talks Back, where we're chatting more Fast 8 with our La Familia. Did you see Hector and I doing our Walking Dead-style blind box challenge on Mothership? No? Well, good news. You can still check it out because we've got the whole episode up. Head on over to Nerdist.com and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Nerdist news.